it's actually Avatar time. It is here. The cards have been revealed. The boxes are about to be opened. The greatest set of all time, in your opinion, has arrived, and I've got a bunch more cards for you to gush over and tell us if they're gonna be good. How pumped are you?
I already told you that I looked at a lot of the cards throughout my entire time day to day, and I'm very excited.
It's just eating your time. You're just sitting there at
I
night
wouldn't say it's eating my
scrolling through
time.
Avatar cards.
Here's what happens.
No?
It's late at night.
Okay.
Well, not late at night. We're watching some random TV show on the telly. I pop up Reddit for 1 second. The first post is like Azula something is now showcased. I go look at the first card. I'm like, oh my god. And then I click on the MTG card subreddit. I forget what it's called. And then I scroll through the whole day. I'm like, wow, this looks really sick. And then it happens to be the next day, and it's just the greatest thing in the world. So,
I believe you. That is how it feels when the set actually looks good. It is amazing how good the set looks, to be like just really frank. And a lot of people are saying that. My biggest concern is like, are people exhausted from so many Magic sets? No. That's my only like concern. You think they're going to get up for this no matter what?
I think the set looks so good, and I'm not biased at all.
Awesome. Well, you already said one of the cards, and I'm going to start with her because we're freaking excited about this card anyway. Let's talk about Firelord Azula.
You have the alt arts for these two, by the way. I don't know if I've seen them.
Oh, yes. You're going to get your alt art review, okay, so I promise.
This is actually something I've been thinking about when I'm looking at these cards. For the first time in a very long time, I don't know what cards you're showing me today or what we're talking about, but not only do these cards look good in Commander, but they actually look playable in Standard, which is something I couldn't say about Spider-Man.
Yeah. For people jumping right in, I've done a video already with you looking at the early previews for this set where we talked about, I think, Commander quite a bit. I've done a video with Simo talking about a number of what I would call kind of the regular cards of the set that seem like typical Magic cards. You get a lot of the flavor. You get a lot of like the legendary cards because you're the person who knows like the lore of Avatar, right? So you're more likely to get hyped over a number of these cards, seeing them as Magic cards. But all of the like so many cards that I think are actually playable. Like I actually have enough to make multiple videos, whereas Spider-Man, what did we do? We made one video, and I even told you like we're doing it for Commander because this is like the worst fucking Standard set ever. And that, by the way, has been true.
Do any of the cards in Spider-Man see play?
Yes.
Oh,
there's a land that is like every land type. You choose a land type when it enters.
Okay.
So of course that's good.
Okay.
There is the Superior Spider-Man is a legendary that for 4 mana becomes a legendary from the graveyard. I think I showed it to you. And it enables a combo that lets you like reanimate your whole graveyard on turn 4.
Oh. That's kind of sick.
That is why that sees play. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
I recently watched I was saying this in my chat the other day, how one of the TikToks type of TikTok I'm getting now is like basically people summarizing a comic book of like, this happens in this edition of this Spider-Man. I learned what Superior Spider-Man was. Did you know what it was?
Okay, my understanding is like Doc Ock tries to be Spider-Man or becomes a Spider-Man.
He like, as Doc Ock is, I think he's dying from cancer or some shit. I shouldn't say some shit, but like as he's dying from cancer.
I mean, that cancer is some shit. That is some serious shit. It absolutely is.
He swaps his like consciousness with Peter Parker. So Peter Parker is inside his body, and then Doc Ock's in Spider-Man, and Doc Ock becomes the Superior Spider-Man, which is like the strongest Spider-Man of all time. I'm not gonna go through all the nuance, but like that comic book sounded sick, and I'm like, why are they making a movie on that? Like, what the hell?
Anyways, I hope they do. Probably because Spider-Man has to die, and they would have to like grow up as a company and not just make like PG stuff. But yeah, I think that would be great.
That's fair. I thought that was so cool. Okay, anyway, sorry, sidetracked. Really big sidetrack there. I thought that was like listening to that comic when I was like, holy man. All right,
we lost like all of the viewers because we went into Spider-Man to start our Avatar video. Okay, too soon. Okay, too soon.
Cut it out. Is it really that bad? Do people just hate this set?
Yes. This is the most hated set in my content creator lifetime. The only competitor was also this year, which doesn't help, which is Aether Drift. People hate those sets, and it has been a long, dark couple of months, so I spent most of it on the road filming Commander shows.
I have one more question.
Thank God.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
How are people feeling about TMNT? Because I think last time we did it, I was talking about how I wouldn't be excited for it. But is the general reception for TMNT good?
You are trying to kill this video right now. You are sabotaging. You are in here like a gremlin tearing at the engine.
You answered the question without even answering it.
Trying to fly the plane.
Fire Lord Azula, one neutral, one black, one red. I got your answer that you're saying it. Okay. Legendary creature, human noble, so she could be your commander. Firebending 2. Do I need to go through the mechanics again, or does everyone know what they are?
I think it's the third video, hopefully, that they've watched of this. I think they know.
Okay.
I think they know.
Whenever you cast the spell while Firelord Azula is attacking, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. A copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. She's also a 4/4. Okay, so this one, I was talking about how a lot of these cards look good for standard. I'm not 100% sure on this one. I think the mana basis may be a little bit weird to get this going, but I think in command,
the mana should be very doable.
You think so?
Yes, the mana should be doable.
Okay, so that means let me walk this through then. You play Azula, unless you give it haste somehow, you have to wait a full turn, and then once it finally attacks, you get the Firebending 2, which is nice. But you're also waiting a whole turn for that to interact. Your opponent may just remove this, and then this card does nothing. I don't know if we feel good about playing a 4/4 do nothing for 4 mana. I guess if you do have the attack, that is kind of nice, but you also need the additional mana to copy the spell. But I feel like in standard, there's stuff that you could do that is just better. I'm going to assume. Is there like a Lightning Greaves equivalent in standard?
I'm sure we can give it haste. I'm sure we can give her haste. Let's see. Gains haste. There isn't a Lightning Greaves. That would be a hell of a reprint. I'm sure any minute now they might actually come up with that. Let's see. That's
my concern, because this card looks really good, but I mean, I hate comparing it to VV standard, but
well, VV getting banned. By the time this video is out, VV or Soul Cauldron or both has to be dead. So there are ways to give it haste. There's a 2-mana 2/2 that taps to give any creature haste. There is, if you do start your engines, there's a land that taps to give something haste after you've completely started your engine, which around turn 4 is possible. There is a card called Helana and Elena that gives 2 +1/+1 counters and haste to another creature. That could be on the board. That would be fun.
Okay, so you're saying...
Yeah, there's things. There's a way.
So you could review this card if you have that on board. 4 mana, you play this. That means you get the 2 additional Firebending mana, which you might have a spell to cast for 2 red.
Hold on. This is probably the best one. Like this one does see some play in standard now in niche roles. This is Wild Ride, 1 red sorcery +3/+0 and haste. That's like something you would want to play the turn you played it, and then she's swinging with a 7 power right away.
Yeah, I feel like that's still so slow though. Maybe because it's not just that she has to attack, it's also you have to have mana to cast another spell, and you have to have another spell. So
she makes the mana to cast another spell.
Yeah, but that's only 2. That's only 2, right? So
let me show you a 2-mana card.
Okay. Let me give me some. What is this? Bulk up. Double target creature's power until the end of turn. I mean, sure, but what if they have 1 defender and then she's the only one attacking? Are you assuming you're gonna have another creature with this mana base at this point? That also can swing.
I mean,
and even then, it's if you're doubling bulk up, but what if the other minion's a 2 attack, then you're only doing 8, which I guess is fine, but is that really what we want to do? Maybe. I think it's funny how I literally said I think in standard they can get played, but I think this card is really good in commander. I think you can make some really cool stuff happen with this, but in
that I can confirm
standard, I just don't see this happening. Now that being said, flavor wise, What is this flavor wise? This is when she thinks she is the next Fire Lord and she's going psycho at the end of the show.
Whoa. She doesn't think she is. She is the Fire Lord. Okay, she has the title. It's right there on the card. She spends a good solid maybe like 25 minutes as a Fire Lord. And it goes so well.
She's definitely going psycho though. I guess it kind of makes sense.
She's got her new haircut. She is ready, baby.
Yeah, I think the art is so good on the set. Oh my god. You know what I don't like about this set? I don't like the stills of like the show on a card. I don't know how to talk like.
Oh, okay. I was gonna get into that. I have a layout. I have a plan.
Those look stupid.
We can do that. I do think. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll cover that because that is probably the worst controversy around this set. That is the thing that has the most backlash. So I'll get to that in 1 minute. Okay. I will say that Firelord Azula is an absolute rock star commander. This is the most built commander in the set right now. People are absolutely adoring it. The idea of just KOing people or finding ways to cast like regular spells in combat by giving them flash through shenanigans to just get double spells everywhere. It's an extremely fun commander. It's also very interesting to play. There's a lot of ways to do it.
Sick.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be Wild Ride bulking up Firelord Azula because I'm not sure what the rest of the deck is. Like what is it doing before turn 5? Yeah, exactly. In standard. But once Vivi's banned, maybe a TK them out of nowhere is very scary. But like, does seem like it can just win the game.
That's fair. Hearthstone has cards like that too, where it's like if it survives, you can kind of just win the game. But I feel like you need it's probably just too slow compared to other stuff that's more consistent than this. I don't know. I don't see it. But Commander, I think it's going to go crazy. So that's the benefit of this. And I hope every character in the show has a Commander that's playable. But from what I've seen, I think all of them do.
I have many to show you, so I feel good about that. But yeah, let's do the controversy. What the heck? Let's embrace it. This card. Yeah.
Is this a card already in the game, or is this for the set?
It is.
Okay.
This is a commander card. It is a very valuable reprint. It is not a card that's been reprinted often.
It's so funny.
Like, it's something people did want.
You neutral one black.
What?
Search your library for a card and then shuffle it. Shuffle and then put that card on top. 3 mana to put a card on top. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's whatever. Okay. Nobody cares very much about what it does anymore, which is really funny for a card that people actually wanted. This is about the art. This is about screen grab art.
Yeah, my issue is like I just feel like it just doesn't fit the game. I mean, we talked about it how like the problem with Spider-Man was it doesn't feel like it's from the Magic universe. Where Avatar has this advantage of a lot of these characters fit that fantasy and theme. So by just doing its own version of the art, like Azula looks so like it looks like a Magic card. Like it looks like it should be existing in this world. When you grab the still from the show, it looks so stupid. But it's got the same. This card in particular has that same vibe as like the SpongeBob Secret Lair, where it's like if you counterspell them, like this is how I'm gonna feel when you play that card. But add that to a set rather than the Secret Lair feels so weird. Yeah. Like it feels so weird. But maybe all the cards that they added the stills on aren't like going to be played. They're just kind of for like some humorous nature. I'm not sure what the logic was for this.
Well, it's actually a well done. It's a good idea. Each still comes from a different episode of Avatar, and there is one card for every episode to represent every episode of the show.
Okay.
And I think that's a cool idea.
Okay.
But it's also very clear that like the people at Nickelodeon just ship some like assets and say, do what you want with these. And they were like, yeah, we'll throw that on a Magic card because, well, I'm trying to find this really quick because it's relevant. But in the meantime, like here's a still. Okay, do you see the still?
Yes.
The magic card? Have you heard about what's up with this?
No. I think this one looks better than the other one. If that's
okay. It does. It looks better than the other one. What I'm about to show you is from a different card game that also has an Avatar crossover set.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay. What is the same card? Oh,
it's the same.
What card game
image.
is this?
I had not heard of this card game before at all. So I honestly, like off the top of my head, don't really know much about it.
Is the controversy that people are mad that they use the same image for the card?
It just seems like they shipped off these like stock images and were just like, here you go, put this on card. And they're like, yeah, we will. So it just feels like there's no actual care, time, selectiveness, thought put into cards that should be. I think this is a good problem. I think that people caring about this enough that they want more thought and care put into these collectibles is a good thing. I think it's exactly the kind of problem that you want, is that your fans actually want these and expect a little better of them.
Well, like inherently speaking, Cruel Tutor makes sense with that still, because that's Ozai. So like he was, he's not great. So that makes a lot of sense why he'd be a Cruel Tutor. Like that one makes sense. The Earth Rumble Triumph, I guess they could have called it something else and then maybe got a different still, but then it comes to the conversation of like, did Nickelodeon pick out what they're allowed to use, or did like the Avatar team or the Magic team that was working on Avatar get to decide?
It seems pretty clear it was Nickelodeon.
Okay, so then
like otherwise, how do you end up with the same image, the same frame, like kind of setup, right?
Yeah, I would also say I don't know if it's just because of like the image you sent me, but the one on the Magic card looks better. Feels like
to be fair,
like they actually did like color grading or something. Like it just looks like a better image. That I'm guessing that's because it's the one you sent me. I also think, like, to myself, 99% of people have probably never heard of the card game that you just sent. So like, does it really bother most people? Probably not. I don't think anyone's gonna care outside of like the internet. And if the controversy is from Reddit, I mean, it speaks for itself. So,
I mean, do you want me to tell you the truth? It's because I think most people want to do this when they see, like, basically wizards make a little oopsie. They just want to point and laugh.
That's fair. That is fair. I can get that image ready to go.
That's the truth. Yeah, I just that one just popped right up, obviously. So, yeah, we're making our own Reddit thread here on the video.
My opinion just looks so weird. Like, it just looks like a weird card to have in the game. Maybe I'll just get more used to it as I see them more often. But like, it's weird. I get like whiplash when I'm going through the cards and then I see an image like that, because they're not as common as the regular Magic borders and/or art style.
True. Yeah, and I just want the regular, like, what's so bad about the Magic border? Why does everything now have to have a borderless thing and look less like a Magic card? I'm going to yell at Clouds about this probably for a long time. It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy because also on Arena specifically, and this is an Arena player problem, some of these cards are now getting printed on Arena and they're getting used in formats like Brawl, Timeless, and Draft for the first time ever. And they are only printed in these treatments. This is the only way to play the cards. So if I want to play Cruel Tutor in Brawl on Arena, I have to play this dude's face.
I don't know. Hearthstone has the similar problem where it's like the signature cards take up the whole screen, the whole card, and it doesn't look like a Hearthstone card. It kind of looks a little strange. So I kind of understand
what
you're
read.
Yeah, like it's not as
sometimes the color is bad.
Visual.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think it's more for me. What bothers me, and I try to do this intentionally, is like visual clarity for the viewer, especially if they're not as in tune with like what's going on in the game. Like I feel like signature cards are so bad for that. Magic inherently kind of just copy paste their cards directly to like the virtual client. So I don't know if it's as bad for you guys, but I do think like there should just be a regular Magic card with this guy's face just in like the regular like portrait or whatever you want to call it.
Regular frame. Just make a regular frame.
I'm gonna give it, hold on, you gotta give it like a little bit of benefit of the doubt here, because I want to see, like, I'm sure maybe you've seen it in person, but I want to see it in person, because like maybe in person it just looks better, and I'm not giving him the credit, because I have moments where it's like some of the Riftbound cards, I'm like, I don't know if that is like, I don't know if that looks good, but then I actually held some of them in my hand, I'm like, oh my god, like that looks so much better. So
true.
Depends.
I've held this card in my hand.
What do you think? Does it look good?
We're making this video. We're having this conversation.
Fine. Cool. I don't know. It is pretty funny that they just did that. It is very funny.
I wish I had opened that pack on stream so I could just hold this face right up to the camera.
So this is just in a regular like booster pack, or like a collector's?
A collector booster, yeah. Or no, they do come in booster packs because they have to be in draft. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
You just open that. You just crack that one. Enjoy.
That is fun.
It's fun. Anyway, that's the controversy of Avatar. And honestly, compared to Spider-Man, where all the cards were unplayable, you couldn't put the same set on Arena, so you had to come up with a whole set of other names, and all the complaints that people had about the Spider-Man thing. This is pretty.
Nothing.
At least it's passionate.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
at least it's people want it to be good, so that they're collecting something that they love and they just like it more. Like that. That's A+. Yep. Let's check out another very, 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 very built commander from the set.
Gran. Very built commander.
It's built. Yep.
Okay.
A lot of decks built with Gran.
Blue.
Yeah.
When Gran becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Non-creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast as long as there are 3 or more lesson cards in your graveyard. Ooh. I have noticed that they've printed a lot of lessons for this set.
They really have.
Some of them look really good. From what
some of them are totally playable, and they're like basically reprints of already good cards, but now they're lessons and stuff like that. Yeah.
The Gran becomes tap, draw a card, and discard a card. So if you have nothing that taps her, and she like you can't just tap a card on your turn, right? You need another artifact or something to do that, or you have to attack with her.
Yep, you can attack with her. Yep.
For 1 though, that's kind of nuts. You get to play this first turn, and in Commander you can go crazy with this.
Yeah, you can build around any and all lessons you can find, and have all kinds of taps and untaps.
I mean, I'm just looking at this like you're getting so much mana cheating from this card just for 1 mana. And this probably sets you up to be in and it's blue. Ooh, did you play with this?
No, I haven't played with this yet. I think it was in our Iroh deck, which is a lesson deck.
I think this is the problem with this being a commander is you're kind of just only playing blue, but I don't think you care. So I guess it's good in commander. In standard, it's also really interesting, right? Worst case scenario, this is a 1 mana draw a card, discard a card, and you potentially get to do 1 damage. Best case scenario, you get to do it that multiple times, and eventually you get the mana cheating, but you're paying 1 for this. I don't think a 1 mana 1/2 is that good for a raid in Magic the Gathering, but if you get the mana cheating, it's pretty sick.
There's also a lot going on in both the VV deck and what the VV deck we'll say what will be left of the VV deck that involves drawing and discarding cards. And that is pretty exciting. I've already covered a lot of the cards that will probably matter in this deck, but I feel like I have to show you this one, and I don't have it ready to go. So just a second.
Even Gran gets a nutty card. Absolute.
That would be pretty wild.
Absolute
for Gran to get a nutty card.
She seems pretty good, no?
Seems pretty good. Check out this card.
You have no maximum hand. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but enters the battlefield, draw a card. When you have no maximum hand size at the beginning of your combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than 1 card this turn, put X ++1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. That is actually kind of sick. I guess
you can definitely build a deck that has like 20 or 30 creatures that like draw and discard cards when they enter the battlefield and just pile up counters.
It is OTK. You can like 2-turn OTK someone. Is that possible?
I mean, God, I have seen things.
Rarran.
I have seen little 2/2s that are suddenly 12/12s. It's wild.
Interesting. Yeah, especially with the mana reduction from Grand, like it could go crazy. I mean, it actually seems like a pretty, like, maybe I'm really underestimating how good it's going to be in standard. That's just a good card. Like, that's a scary card to leave on a one, or a scary line of text to leave on a 1-cost card.
It actually is. And it's legendary. Like, cheap legends also sometimes have things that matter about them. Like, you need a legendary permanent on the board to get an effect, something like that. Like, that's come up in time, and it's becoming easier to do the more Universes Beyond they release, because Universes Beyonds are notoriously packed with legendaries.
That makes sense.
But what I want to cover now, I also think it's a good card. I want to cover what I'm calling the Grand Conspiracy.
Okay.
All right. Okay. This is a breaking story. To my knowledge, nobody on YouTube has covered this yet, and we're gonna break some news right now about the Grand propaganda campaign on EDH Rec. Okay, so click this and go check out this page.
Okay, it's a deck. What do you want me to do here?
Sure, it's a deck.
Okay, what am I looking at here?
Now, I'll scroll down to the high synergy cards of this deck.
I've never used this site
Man
before.
of the Sea. Yeah. You see some of this?
Synergy cards. Hold on, where do I see that? We're looking at top cards. Is that what you mean by that? Oh, wait a minute. I see the synergy at the bottom there. Okay, hold on. Okay. How Old Man of the Sea. Holy moly, this thing's old.
Yeah.
Look at that art. 1 neutral, 2 blue. Tap to gain control of a creature with power no greater than Old Man's power. Okay, it's a 2/3. If Old Man becomes...
I'm not positive it matters what it does.
Tap to gain control of a creature with power no greater than Old Man's power. If Old Man becomes tapped, you lose control of this creature. You may choose not to untap Old Man creature as... Oh my god, as normal. You also lose control of creature if Old Man dies and if the creature becomes a greater Old Man. Okay, so what are you thinking here? Like you take him. Wait, because you could tap what? Wrong card becomes.
Okay, look at the next card.
Oh, we keep going. Okay.
Just look at the art.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting fucking whiplash looking at like Grand into this. Like, it's so mental. What does that card even mean? Cumulative upkeep? Excuse me. What is that?
Devi Simulacrum. I appreciate you trying to understand the cards. I want you to just appreciate the art for a minute. Yes, they're all old.
Wait, you think they intentionally made Grand interact with all these cards?
No, I don't think Grand interacts with these at all. I think these are just all old cards. Like, it's just nothing but old people on the cards. Look at this. Every card has old people on it. It has nothing to do with what the card does. Are you seeing this?
You're going through.
Keep scrolling.
You're like, no, but nobody's talked about this conspiracy theory. I can't believe it.
Nobody has.
He's yapping about the art over here.
Look at this. No, but listen to me. It goes deep, okay? This isn't just one deck. This is all of the decks pulled together, and this is what they look like. And it's just a bunch of... Okay, go to the top of the page. Go to the top of the page and click right next to where it says Grand Commander, and it shows the art. Next to it says As Commander, As Card, Average Deck, and Decks.
Okay.
Click Decks. Click Decks.
Okay, I clicked it.
All right, do you see a bunch of decks?
I see the price one is $9,000 almost.
Keep going.
Oh, this.
Look at them. Look how many 9,000. Like, they're all the same deck.
Well, that's because. Is that because of these cards are hard to find?
No, I mean, some of the cards in the deck are hard to find, but like the fact that almost every Grand deck list represented across multiple sites on the internet is worth around $8,800. And the fact that like look at the deck list. If you click on any of these $8,000 deck lists, they don't even have islands in them. There's no lands. It's the same compilation of old cards, and it's spread out over 900 deck lists on the internet, Rarran. There's no way 900 people put this combination of cards together in a quote deck that couldn't even be cast.
Who's making the decks? Just random people? Like, are you thinking like this is the conspiracy?
This can't be. This is the conspiracy. Only AI would make this deck. AI is propagandizing Gran to make elder positive MTG deck content all over the internet.
I have no idea what to say to this.
They're trying to win over the boomers.
What happened
AI
to you?
is coming for. They're trying to win the hearts and minds of the boomers first, and they're using Magic the Gathering.
So you think because there's older people on the art that's the reason they're going to get more involved into Magic the Gathering, because they feel representation of their age?
Look, I'm not surprised that somebody out there made a old people art deck.
Okay.
Totally fine. I bet that was part of what was intended. The fact that there are 900 of them and they don't even have lands to cast the spells.
Is it only on this site?
No, this is an aggregator. It aggregates data from several sources. So like the deck I clicked on is from Archidect, but they're from they're from various places. They might all be uploaded to Archidect. I haven't clicked through and made sure like which site they're on, but like this is like just pulling how many of these lists exist out there. Are we saying one human uploaded 900 variations of a Rarran deck that can't cast any spells?
I feel like
with an elder theme.
I feel like what happened was somebody probably made this deck, and then the other people were like, "Oh, we need a Gran deck. Let's just copy that, guys, and change a couple of cards."
900 people copy a Gran list with no islands in it. I can't. Well, I just can't believe this. I can't believe this.
I don't know. You maybe you're honest. There's a video I watched recently that's like, AI is getting to the point where it's feeding off other AI data, because that's like the next thing it's going to train itself on. But that means like it gets even weirder, and like it's a weird loop to go through. But I never thought to myself that they would use it to make an old person deck.
Yes, they're trying to build a bracket 1 Magic the Gathering Elder deck. That's what they're doing. What is the grand plan? I don't know. But this has to be the early stages of them learning to play Commander, of AI playing Commander with each other. I don't know. That's gotta be it. Look at this deck list. It's incredible. It has.
So hold on. You told me that we're gonna talk about Avatar cards, but in reality is you wanted to talk
about... That was just a thing I wanted to cover in Gran that I noticed last night browsing EDH Rec, and it blows my mind that nobody is talking about this. Nobody.
EDH Rec just means like just a commander deck, right? It's not just like competitive or anything. Like this is just
it's just a commander deck somebody built on a website.
Should look at this site more often. Now you got me fucked up.
Okay, fine. Back to standard. Back to Avatar. Read this card. Let me know in the comments is what could have caused this. I really want to know. How did this happen?
That was so random. I want you to know, but I'm glad you got that out. You sound like you really needed to do that.
I did. I was up all night. I couldn't. It was blowing my mind, and I was searching all the websites trying to be like, how has nobody covered this? Does nobody see what is happening?
I mean, maybe people notice it, but all right.
The deck list has Fabled Passage, which searches your library for a basic land, and it has no basic lands.
But there's 100 cards in it.
Yes.
Maybe it's just like, here are the possible cards you could run, but like make sure you add some lands.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But the amount of old people on art is really funny.
He's losing it. All right. The Fire Nation Drill, 2 neutral, 2 black. I can't get over this. Legendary artifact and its vehicle trample. When the Fire Nation Drill enters, you may tap it. When you do, destroy target creature with power 4 or less. Oh. 1 mana, permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. Oh my god, the flavor of that is actually so sick. Crew 2 and it's a 6/3. Wait, can you use that 1 mana for if it's not crewed? Like, can I just tap it? Or not?
Yeah, it's just on the field. You can pump 1 mana into that anytime.
You do destroy a target creature with power 4 or less. So you're paying 4 to potentially kill a minion that's also 4, depending on what your opponent has. Like, you can kill Azula with this. And then that 1 is actually kind of nutty. That counters particular cards that you might have had problems with to begin with. In Standard, in Hearthstone, this might just get played for the battle cry or the enters. That's like a good tempo swing. And that 1 mana is pretty good. I think in Commander this actually is pretty good too, though. I think in Commander it's probably infinitely better because you probably see Indestructible more often in Commander than you do in Standard, right? I think you really like that ability.
Definitely more of a thing in Standard to get around Indestructible and Hexproof. Yep.
Now,
the only other card with this ability, verbatim, is called Shadow Spear, and it's a very expensive Commander card.
Expensive in the means that people want to play it?
Cost. Yeah. You have to pay like, I think it's like $30 for this little 1 mana equipment thing, but it has that ability just tacked onto it.
So people want this.
Yeah.
I think it's like in Standard, like you might get away with playing this because it is like a tempo swap in a sense. But yeah, in Commander, I think you want the ability more. I don't know if you're ever going to really put the 1 mana into the Standard, but I could actually see it being played in both, to be honest with you.
When you do, it feels so good. It feels
the 1
so
mana?
good. When you get them, like they give their thing hexproof or they give their thing indestructible to counter your removal spell, and you pay the 1. Oh,
that's not. Is that sorcery speed or is that instant? Like, can I do that?
Instant speed. Yeah, you can do it in response to them granting hexproof with a spell, which is the more common line of play.
Oh, see, that's like when we did the videos with Simo, and I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty good ability. Can I do that on my opponent's turn? He goes, yeah, and I go, all of a sudden that is so good.
Hearthstone player, like, I could do it on my opponent's turn? Oh, Jesus.
That's actually nuts, though. That's actually nuts. Yeah, I think in Commander, it fits the Azula deck as well. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good, like, in Commander, I think that's awesome. I don't know. How do you feel about that in Standard? I actually have no idea if that's playable. It might be. Might be too slow, though.
I think it looks really good in Standard, to be honest. And it's because of that 6/3 trample on this thing. That is really big for a 4 mana card that already got you value. So now any 2-power creature in your deck, of which we have them for as low as 1 mana, can crew this, and then you're swinging for 6. And the cool thing about vehicles in a format like Standard is they dodge a lot of the board wipes. So if the opponent casts their sorcery speed 4 mana, destroy all creatures, it doesn't kill this. It's a vehicle at the time. On your turn, you play any creature as low as 1 mana with 2 power, crew this up, and then smack them for 6, and they're right back under pressure, or possibly lethal pressure. It's a scary, like, the fact that it's a 6/3, I would have expected this to be like a 4/3. This is a really above rate card.
Do you think it's like top tier Standard card then?
I'm not sure exactly what the deck looks like, but if you're going to be trading resources back and forth, like, it feels like a Fire Nation drill or 2 in your deck fits most black synergies, because black decks definitely want to do that, whether they're green black mid-range. It's very value based. Blue black like is right now a tempo deck, which you might think this doesn't fit a tempo deck, but then you consider that, like, you slam this, and now when they try to kill your creatures, now every small creature actually hits for 6. It becomes a real problem. I think this is a scary card.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm not like 100% sure how vehicles really interact in the game, so it's hard for me to judge how good vehicles are. It's like weapons with in Hearthstone for you. Like
oh yeah, I mean, a good way to look at it is that it's a creature on your turn when you want to attack with it, but not on the opponent's. That's how it usually plays out. They're usually aggressive.
Interesting. I mean, I'll trust you on that. I do think the enter the battlefield thing is pretty good. Hearthstone, you would almost, I mean, maybe not in current Hearthstone. For 4 to deal with the 4 cost, like, you'd probably be happy with that. Yeah,
there's also ways to flicker it, reuse it, so you're getting that ability over and over again. That's pretty scary. Like, there's like, I'm thinking the Pixie decks, like, there's a 1 white 1/1 flyer that when enters returns something else that of yours to your hand, and then it becomes a 1 mana 2/2 flyer. And that and this are just like bang, slap for 6, bang, slap for 6. It's kind of gross. I don't know, dude. I think the Fire Nation drill is one of the good cards. Like, I think this would make my top 10 for Standard if I did one. I think it would.
I will also say the flavor of this is awesome. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Oh, just wait. I don't think this is particularly a standard card, though. I'm curious what you think. But let's read this card because they go together.
The Walls of Bossing Say. 8 mana. Defender's what? It can only block? I forget what that is, actually.
Correct. Yeah.
Does it have to block or it can only block?
Can only block.
Okay. This is a wall. Other permanents you can you have this as your commander?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Other permanents you control have indestructible. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Yeah, standard probably useless.
Did you read the stats?
0-30. Oh yeah,
that's an outrageous number.
Sorry, my Hearthstone brain said, "Oh, it keeps damage I swing into it, but it refreshes at the start of every single upkeep." So, yeah, that's annoying. I mean, it dies to the drill though, which is actually so funny. It's cinema. It did such a good job.
Yeah. They brought Avatar to the cardboard realm. It's kind of awesome, to be honest.
0-30 is pretty sick. I don't even know, how do you use this in Commander though? Like, what do you want to do this? What do you want to use this for? Just to have a defense like this? Like, I feel like that's not even that good. Yeah.
There are multiple commanders that allow defenders to attack as though they weren't defenders.
Okay, so but how do you attack with this?
It just says the commander. Yeah, I'll just find it.
Is there a way you can? Does Magic the Gathering have a card like Hearthstone that says, make a creature's attack equal to their health?
Kind of. But in this case, that would kill it, right? Because it's 0. It swaps. So there's a certain number of cards that like swap. So there's ways to make it a 30-0. But then you just have like Arcades a strategist that says each creature you control with defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power and can attack as though it didn't have defender.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yep. So you're just basically throwing a big wall at your opponent, hoping you do 30 damage. I guess.
I mean,
because if you put trample on it, that's pretty funny. Isn't Magic the Gathering funny?
30 often?
Yeah, like
yes.
Just like that sentence. Yeah, I'm gonna give the Walls of Bossing Say trample, and I'm gonna attack with it. You.
Yeah, for 30. By the way, this is the largest toughness printed on a legal Magic card, I believe. I'm 90% sure that's true.
If you somehow get this in play in standard, do you just win because your opponent can't attack? I guess that you wouldn't. There's probably ways around this. There's probably way too many ways around this.
Well, if you have 2 creatures, it can only block 1.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Like if this had taunt, like if this was a Hearthstone card with taunt, like maybe, but
if it could block any number of creatures is how it would be in Magic vernacular. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
I'm kind of shocked they've never used that like line of text before. At least you haven't showed it to me. Like if a creature attacks, it must attack this first.
Here you go. Here, let's use a Spider-Man card. Let's use Spider-Man in our avatar. This
all damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to the enchanted creature instead. I think you showed me this card before. I just forgot about it.
Oh yeah, we might have covered it.
All damage you would be dealt to you is well. Okay, so this makes sense, but I'm thinking on the lines of like, I guess this absorbs the damage, but then this doesn't actually deal. Because I'm guessing like if it says, actually, how does this interact with cards that are like, if you've dealt damage to the opponent this turn, would that not proc anymore because the damage would not be on the creature? But you would...
Correct.
Oh, interesting. I was thinking like that interaction might be different if like you had to attack into the minion rather than the opponent. Interesting. Well, I mean, I guess if you would
combo,
you put with great power on the wall, and you just never block with it, like they're like trying. I mean,
if Uncle Ben said a beautiful line with great power comes great walls of bossing saying, then you win the game. Probably. That's how I see it.
That's kind of sick. That's a cool strategy. That's kind of like the walls of bossing say. I mean, you probably what's his name? Arcades. What the hell is Arcades? He's just a massive dragon.
Yeah, he's a dragon who's really good at sitting on a wall and being like,
is that where he is? I was gonna ask that.
Come at my walls, bro. Now
Wait,
my
he's
walls
perfect though.
you,
He
bro.
actually maybe he built bossing say it's actually so funny that it interacts like that. All right,
yeah,
I'm down.
This is our Magic the Gathering. Amazing.
This is why I want more stuff like this in Hearthstone, because I think it's just funny to say that out loud. Like shit.
Indeed.
We don't have this at all in Hearthstone. Aang. Okay, this one flips. Okay, Aang at the crossroads. 2 neutral, 1 green, 1 white, 1 blue. Okay, he's another legendary creature, human avatar ally. Flying when Aang enters. Look, how many Aang cards are there? There's like 30 at this point. I think I've read.
I can think of 5.
Okay, never mind. Maybe I overestimated. When Aang enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a creature card with mana value 4 or less from among them onto the battlefield. The rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. When another creature you control leaves the battlefield, transform Aang at the beginning of your next upkeep. Okay. Okay, hold on. Flying for 5, and you get this. You get to look at 5 cards in the top. Pick one, add it to your battlefield. I mean, that could be really good. The fact that it's mana value 4 or less is maybe a little too weak though. But what does the flip do? Destined Savior. Flying, what land creatures you control have vigilance. At the beginning of at the beginning of combat on your turn, Earthbend 2. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you want to put this in like an Earthbending deck then?
I mean, flipping it's not very hard. I'm not sure how much to build around the Earthbend really.
Yeah, but I mean, flipping it just basically means he gets +1/+1 in stats unless you're Earthbending. No, I guess there are other land creatures that you could technically have, but I think you want to put this in a deck where you're Earthbending a ton. Earthbending, by the way, from what I could tell, might be the best one, but it looks
kind of cracked.
It looks so good, especially because the lands don't leave the battlefield. That's what really gets me going. So,
oh my god! Speaking of getting you going, trying it in like there are lands that sacrifice to get other lands, sometimes played in standard, but obviously fetch lands in commander. When you Earthbend a fetch land, and then like you attack them with it or block with it, but then sack it and go get another land, but then bring back the fetch land and do it again the next turn. Oh, dude.
Oh,
the value. Oh, it's so satisfying. I can't. Even.
Yeah, Earthbending looks really good. Like it looks really good. They all look good to be fair, but every time I see Earthbending, I'm like, oh my god, the potential with it is so strong, and it gives you so much tempo. Depending on what card it is. I mean, this card looks fine. I think in standard, I'm not like freaking out about it. I think it maybe in commander, it's also just a little too weak, unless because I think I've seen like other Earthbending commanders that look better than this. So I'm not I guess the vigilance tag is extremely powerful on all your lands, but I think we could do better than this.
I'm not even that. See, I think flipping it is pretty easy, and I'm sure it will, but I also don't know if flipping it is the point so much as like flickering, reusing, bouncing, and cloning the enters the battlefield effect. So if you use this to hit another creature that then either clones Aang at the crossroads or flickers Aang at the crossroads, you just keep going, right? You just
so you're going for like a cascading, like you just keep going. Okay.
I'm looking for like a board in a box, and this can do it. In Commander for sure. In Standards is the one I'm not as sure about. Commander, you definitely have as many clones and blink effects as you want. I've already built a deck with this that has like 80 hits in it that just keep Aang going. So when you cast it, you just immediately create a board that's like whoosh. It's awesome.
Oh, interesting. I guess I guess I didn't consider how good if you can copy the effect over and over again. How good it would be.
If every time or if a high percentage of the time you hit another creature that copies the effect and just does it again, boom. 5 mana for like 30 power is not crazy.
I guess I'd have to see it in action to really comprehend how good this card is. But
come on over, play Commander. I'll show you. This will be great. It'll be great.
I'm trying.
Okay.
How many times I get asked, when are you going to play Commander again? And I'm like, oh my god, they don't know.
Good job, chat. You're doing a good job. Keep it up. It's bully.
Contact the American government.
Yes, please do, actually. Standard is the one where I'm not sure there are enough hits for that to be good, but standard is also the one where just 2 bodies that do a lot for 5 mana could see play.
I just feel like the mana base is so awkward, and make your deck consistent enough for this to be like also worth it. Like, I don't know. I don't see this in standard.
I want to try it in standard. I'm excited.
I like the drill way more than this.
I do like the drill way more than this. This would be like a speculative, like honorable mention kind of card. This is, I'm not so sure about. I don't like it better than the drill. But if you like earthbending, and I know you like Bommy, let's do this. Boomy. Bommy? Where did that come from? Okay.
Actually, I don't know if I've seen a Boomy card yet. Boomy Unleash, 3 neutral, 1 red, 1 green. This is another potential commander. Okay. Trample, when Boomy enters, Earthbend 4. When Boomy deals combat damage to a player, untap all lands you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Only land creatures can attack during the combat phase. Like, this card just seems so much better than the Ang. But again, I have to see the whole cascading thing you're talking about. That's a disgusting good text line at the end there. If you're earthbending a lot, that is that's a lot.
Yeah, get it. Whew.
So he's your would he be your? I guess you want him to be your commander. You're earthbending up until this point. He comes in, but he needs to deal combat damage. So you have to give him haste, and then you also have to hit a player. I mean, if you hit a player, it's with trample, like it's so good. That is a scary. Can you make him into a land?
In Commander, for sure. Little more. I don't know of a standard trick to do it, but in Commander, yes, there are ways to do that combo.
If you make him a land, like you just keep going.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that kind of gross?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, here. This card was standard legal not that long ago, but it isn't standard legal right now. Let's show you. Oh wait, that didn't drag. Hold up.
Wait, that is a disgusting line of text. That's so scary.
I know. It's what a card. There's so many good cards.
Ashaya. Let's go with Ashaya. Soul of the Wild. Okay, this is 5 mana though, so I'm just reading the relevant text, I guess. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other stuff. So you need to have this on board, play Boomy, have it attack, and then you're going infinite.
Yeah. In Commander, totally doable. In Commander, that's like 2 5-drops on board. They do that every day, but yeah.
Is this competitive Commander worthy? Like, is this that strong that you would be willing to play this?
Competitive Commander is a tough one. I mean, games can and often do end around turn 3, turn 4 to combos, or they go super late in the game where everybody has tons of interaction. So this would be, it would be hard to pull it off. In casual Commander, this is like a table murdering machine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just imagining like, I'm going to attack you first. Okay, you're dead. I'm going to the next player. You're dead. And just keep going.
If Boomy unleashes CEDH Commander competitive, hell yeah. Like, that would be hot. Somebody winning a tournament with this would be hot.
Well, it's a cool ability. Really cool ability. In standard, I'm like, I guess it's like it's a decent amount of stats though. That's the thing. You got a
5 mana for a 5/4 and Earthbend into a 4/4. That's a lot.
Is that good though? Like, I don't know what your rates are for 5. That doesn't sound amazing. What is 5 in Hearthstone mana? Like that's what I've always tried to translate over. Because I think our 5 mana cards on average are weaker than your 5 mana cards on average. But I could be wrong. I want to say this is like,
I think this seems like a
mana?
lot.
Seems like a lot, like good. Like you're willing to play.
There's another card in the set that is like, if you do some setup, is 5 mana for 2 4/4 flyers. And we were debating, Simo and I were debating if that card is good. Back in the day, like in the day, Standard had a card called Broodmate Dragon that was 6 mana for 2/4/4 flyers. That was it. That was insane. Like that was the nuts.
What year was that though?
Don't worry about it. 2008.
Like back in the day, we were dropping Yetis in Hearthstone, and that was the nuts. And now our 4 drops are insane.
This was before the day of the Yeti. But dude, I do think 5 mana for a 5/4 and a 4/4 is a lot. Like that is really high.
I don't know. Like maybe my whole perception of Standard is so warped from what I've seen. Like I personally think that seems too slow. I'd rather do something else with 5 mana, but I think in Commander this card cooks. I think Earthbending in Commander is going to be so cool. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I want this to be kind of good in Standard just because it's like, dude, it's so much power for 5 mana. If we can't play 5 mana cards, what does this world come to? I'm holding on, dude. I'm out here trying.
Don't worry, I'm sure once VV's gone and the Cauldron's gone, it's going to be so fun. Not coping, by the way.
That's as copy as it gets. Anyway, you're right. We're living in Christmas land. Let's keep the legendary characters coming, but maybe we'll only pay 2 mana for it. How about that?
Oh. Zuko Conflicted. 1 black, 1 red. Another commander potentially. At the beginning of your main phase, choose one that has been chosen and you lose 2 life. Beginning of your main phase. Okay, so this comes down as a 2 mana 2/3. Then you have to wait a full turn in Commander or in Standard, and then 3 turns for this to actually proc. Okay. Draw a card, put +1/+1 counter on Zuko at a red mana, exile Zuko, then return him to the battlefield under an opponent's control. God, the flavor is pretty sick. Is that good? 2 mana 2/3 to draw a card the next turn is probably it sounds slow in my head. There has to be an interaction here that I'm not thinking about with how good this can potentially be, but I think that's like a 2/3. I guess. Okay, what's your average rate in Standard for a 2/3 or for a 2 mana card?
Yeah. Any one of these that you chose would be above rate in Standard. Like we don't have 2 mana 2/3 draw a card. All right, we don't have 2 mana 2/3.
Well, it's delayed.
+1/+1 counter.
Sure.
I know. If it gets around, if you assume not everything is dead on turn 2, then yeah, we also in those colors, black and red particularly, don't ramp very well. So 2 mana for a 2/3 that adds a red the next turn, and you go from 3 to 4 mana is also like we don't have that really. Not a body like this.
Yeah, I think this is one of those cards where I think in Standard it's so much better.
Mm-hmm.
The one problem, I guess, if it lives like that long, then like your opponent gets him, but that's not even that good. So it's like, do you even care?
When the opponent gets this card, I think your plan is to have them so low on life that Zuko kills them.
Yeah, it hurts them.
Yeah, that's kind of sick.
You play this on 2. What do you're like always picking the mana just the ramp, or like I guess maybe
as long as you have stuff to cast. Yeah,
it feels like is it weird to say this card's better in Commander or Standard than it is in Commander, which is like I feel like I've never said that on talking about Magic cards.
You said that out loud just now. That's crazy.
Is that Did you agree?
I think you're right.
Like
I agree.
I think in Commander, like what are you playing this for? I guess it's fine, but it's like not amazing. It's really slow in Commander because you have to wait 2 other players' turns as well, right?
That's like 2 hours. That's like infinite time. Who has that time? Nobody has that time.
Like 2 hours. Oh, I agree. 2 hours for sure. No, I think it actually like now that I just in Hearthstone, like I'm trying to think of like you wouldn't play a 2 mana 2/3 in Hearthstone. You need something so much better than that. So like 2 mana to draw a card in Hearthstone legitimately sounds awful. like I guess it's not a 2/3 body, but I guess in Magic it's better, especially in those colors. I'm thinking about like maybe. Okay, I can see it played in Standard. I really don't think about Commander though. Commander's trash.
Yeah, I agree. But I actually think it's a pretty good standard card. It is legendary, so like you can't run 4 of them because it would really suck to have them stuck in your hand. Although I guess that kind of resets it if you don't want them to have if you don't want the opponent to have it. Like you kind of just play another Zuko after you get the mana and the counter and the card.
Yeah,
dude, your 2-drop in standard, it's a fast format, but part of that is because the removal isn't perfect. And a lot of 2-drops, I'm thinking of like this is competing with Fear of Missing Out. Fear of Missing Out is a 2-mana 2/3. When it enters, you discard a card and then you draw a card, and that's a played card. It also has some more text of if your graveyard has a lot in it, you get 2 combat steps. That's really cool, but it does get played for like the card selection and the body. And Zuko is competing with that. And you don't have to discard a card. It's just draw a card, and you can get a counter on it if it lives. I don't know, man. It's a good card.
I feel like Fear of Missing Out is a better card based on what you're saying. I'd rather have the immediate draw and discard than wait a whole turn. This card's really good on turn 2, but it starts to really fall off the longer it's not drawn. Like you need to hit this on 2. So
that is true. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
And because it's legendary, it might not make the cut. Because I mean, you probably just add it in and just hope you draw it on 2. But I think Fear of Missing Out.
Go in the opening hand. Let's go.
Yeah, that's like your dream. So it's tough. Cool card though.
Like I've got a non-legendary 2-mana card. Do you want to see it?
Sure. Why are you asking?
You say no.
Cabbage!
You just leave. Yeah, that's a good story. Yeah, I know you want to see this.
Unlucky Cabbage Merchant. 1 neutral, 1 green. When this creature enters, create a food token. Okay. Whenever you sacrifice a food, you may search your library for a basic land and put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you search your library this way, put this creature on the bottom of its owner's library, then shuffle. Wow. How do you sacrifice? I guess you just do it. Okay. Just 2 mana and then tap it.
Or if you have a number of other effects that do sacrifice an artifact, a token, or specifically a food just to give you some other payoff, which there do exist. Mechanics like Bargain let you do this. It would just do it without paying the mana. Yeah,
okay, so this one's really weird. I guess you're happy to... I mean, flavor-wise, this is phenomenal for the record. You're destroying his cabbages, and then he comes back later in the show having his cabbage back, and the same thing happens. That's hilarious. But this might be too slow unless you really, I mean, I don't know the full collection of cards. I guess if you can consistently do this, like this is very strong. You hit this on 2 and then you get the extra ramp. Like that's like immediately after, like that's really, really powerful. But I guess worst case scenario, it's like, even if you don't have another card, you just pay the 2 mana to get a land. And like you're paying, it's like Wild Growth in Hearthstone. You're just paying 2 mana to get a land. That's not too bad. But then you lose this on board. But
ooh, yeah. If this dies, then I guess you also
it's bad.
If you search your library this way, put this on the bottom, then shuffle. It's also really bad if it dies before you sacrifice the food token.
Yeah, I think it's like this card is really feast or famine. And I think in a I mean, flavor-wise, it's so well done. Like, it is the story of the Cabbage Man. But I think you'd rather have something more consistent than a card like this. But I could see it if, like, if you had no other... Because this is like... what is it? Lawnmower Elves is in the game. So, I feel like you always just play that over this. And just constantly tap for green. Like, I like it more. Because it's not like you're getting it... I would say like, oh, you're pulling a land out of your deck, but then you're just shuffling this back in, even though it goes to the bottom. No, you're shuffling after. So it's like, I'm not losing my mind over this.
Yeah, I guess here's the important bit. This is very important. Why is this Cabbage Merchant legendary and the other one is not? Why? Why is the Cabbage Merchant a legendary card, but an unlucky Cabbage Merchant is unlegendary?
Let's see.
How could this happen?
Well, are you talking like purely flavor-wise? It's probably mechanics, right? When your opponent casts a non-creature spell, create a food token. If it's an artifact.
So this is just the better Cabbage Merchant?
The first line of text is pretty good. So
yeah, it is. It is.
So
I mean, this card is busted. It's not legal in standard. It's commander only, which is why we covered it earlier in the last video. I just want to know why one's legendary and one isn't. That inconsistency bothers me because
I think that's purely a balancing act. Because. I think if you had 2 copies of this Cabbage Merchant on the board, it's gonna go crazy. So like they're probably worried about that. That line of text is so gross. Tap 2 untapped foods you control, add 1 mana of any color. Could you imagine 2 of these on the board? Oh my god.
Yeah. This is a disgusting card. I actually think this is going to be a really expensive chase card because like the products it's in, like it's in collector boosters and jumpstart that not as many people are going to buy. I think this card is going to be expensive. The Cabbage Merchant. I think it's going to be like a commander staple. Yeah, it's messed up.
God, that's so funny. Oh my god, I never thought I would see this.
Magic the Gathering.
Sokka. Tenacious Tactician. 1 neutral, 1 blue, 1 red, 1 white. So this is another commander. Menace and Prowess. Okay. Other allies you control have Menace and Prowess. When you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white ally creature token with a 3/3. Okay, so 4 mana. If you're casting a ton of spells afterwards, this is a very spooky board all of a sudden. But you need a lot for this to go crazy, right?
Spells? I think you just need spells.
Yeah, but how many spells, right? Like that. The problem, like, I wish I had a better gauge on how commanders played, because I feel like if you're trying to be competitive, and I'm looking at Sokka here as my win con, like my commander, I gotta spend 4 mana, and then I also have to have enough spells where it feels worth it to play a card like this. So, because the creatures only get it until the end of turn, and then you also they can't attack the turn they're played, right? So you kind of want this to live a full turn, but even then it's not even that good. You need to give everything haste, but I guess you showed me that earlier.
Yeah, there are some ways to give everything haste. I do think that like it's pretty normal in Commander to like kind of play one of these setup cards, ramp on 2, setup card on 3, and then go from there of like every time you cast a non-creature spell, you get another creature. If you get these up +2/+2 or +3/+3, especially with Menace, so they're harder to block, that's a lot of damage. That gets a lot done.
Yeah, maybe it's just my lack of seeing how Commander plays out, but I don't think this is like nearly as good as like Boomy is. You need a lot.
It does give other allies Menace and Prowess. And for example, like every Aang card is also an ally. Boomy's also an ally. So they would also get Menace and Prowess. That's kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
I think so.
It doesn't mean powerful though. That's the thing, right?
Nah, you're not into this one. This one ain't doing
I just feel like this is kind of whatever. I get the flavor of this card because it's like when he was fighting against, I guess it's whatever battle he's doing. So he just wants to rally the troops up. But
he's a leader, right? That's his arc. He becomes leader of warriors and such.
Yeah. I get what they're going for. I just feel like this isn't as powerful as other ones you showed me. Not to say that it's necessarily bad, but it's kind of whatever. I don't really see it.
I think it'll be a little better than that. Monastery Mentor is a card that was like recently in standard and got played. And that is a 2/2 for 3 that makes a 1/1 prowess monk every time you cast a non-creature spell. So when you throw in the Menace, I think it's pretty, like, it is a threatening board. It makes a threatening board for sure. And then Ally is a more popular type than Monk, so it can just dish that out to other allies on the field. There's a lot of allies in the set. I think it might be a decent aggro card, to be honest.
In Standard versus...
Well, I've already had fun playing it in Commander, and it was very fun. I set up a sweet engine that every time an ally entered the battlefield, I earthbended 1 using a different card.
Well, okay, hold on. I didn't realize that's a possibility.
Created an ally that created an earthbend that drew a card with Aang.
That's kind of nasty.
It was a fun little engine. Okay, that was sick.
That's like a crazy interaction. That's so much better than I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm thinking like, I play Sokka. If I have enough spells, I generate some tokens, and maybe they become 3/3s. Like, you're out here like, okay, so I'm gonna get an ally, and then that's gonna make a land that's also an ally. Then I'm gonna keep going, going and going and going, and then it's like, okay,
yes, This is Commander. That's what we do. That's how it works.
I don't have enough games under my belt to really understand Commander. Like,
okay, I'm gonna help you. All right. When a legendary card says, "Whenever this, get a this,"
good.
You just try to find a way to take that to the fucking moon. At all times.
I guess that's fair.
At all times.
Okay.
Yeah. Anytime you get something for free, you take it to 11. You find every freaking way in the world to get more free, and
what happens
you go way
if they just
over
kill
the
the
top.
Sokka though, and then your whole deck's kind of just whatever?
It's Commander. Either reanimate it or recast it. Who cares? It's easy. You anticipate that. Besides, who removes anything?
That was such a Sokka response. Like the role playing you're going through here.
Oh yeah. Now hold still. I need to practice my boomerang.
Nice.
Here you
Good
go.
Good reference.
Ooh.
Ko the Face Stealer. 4 neutral, 2 black. I mean, it makes sense that this got a card. When Ko enters, exile up to 1 other target creature. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may exile it. Pay 1 life, choose a creature card exiled with Ko. Ko has all activated triggered abilities of the last chosen card. Wait, that is so cool.
Oh yeah.
6 mana for this though.
In standard, let's just assume we cheated out for 4 using reanimation or something. It makes it a lot more fun.
That card is maybe one of the most interesting cards you've ever shown me in this, from all the videos we've done. This is what a crazy design. I guess it's limiting to like what you've exiled, but the versatility of a card like this is actually insane. And you could pay 1 life multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you want this to be your commander necessarily, but what the hell? It's like, you're talking like when you see whatever, I guess this is almost the same. Whenever you cast a non-spell, whenever a non-creature token dies, you may exile it. I feel like this one's way more interesting than Sokka. How do you...
It is a very interesting card.
How much mana is Deadpool?
What a question. 4 mana.
Yeah, I feel like this card's like almost comparable to Deadpool, like where it's very versatile. This one's kind of expensive, and you need to exile cards. But damn, the potential of a card like this is so good. And like, if it dies, you just reanimate it, and you already have your exile pool given. Because I don't think.
Yep, and you exile another thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, what a card.
It's also really interesting that you can switch the ability back and forth over and over. Like, choosing the card doesn't keep you from choosing it in the future. So if you choose a card with a mana ability and then use the mana ability, then you can pay 1 life and switch to a card that has like a mana sync ability, and then use the mana sync ability with the mana you generated. There's probably combos where like you turn into something that untaps itself, and then an ability you turn into something else that taps for mana. Ooh,
this card has the ability to like win the game on the spot. You just have to have the right cards in it to do it. So depending on how long that takes you to do. Oh, what a cool card though. That's so interesting. Why doesn't Hearthstone have a card like this? That's so cool. I guess it's really, really hard to balance the card like this in Hearthstone with no interaction.
It's one of the most unique cards they've printed for this set. That's why I was like, I really wanted you to see it, because it's a very cool ability. I think in standard it's probably like reanimation or some other way to like flicker and abuse and overuse the ability. And then in Commander, I think you just put in a lot of decks. I think a lot of black decks would play this in Commander just because of the coolness.
I think in standard it might be too slow. Like you really need to have something on board, and you need to be okay with exiling that. And it needs to have an effect that you want to play. But in Commander, like the setup, you could set this up to be like just a win condition in itself.
Yeah.
So is the pay 1 life instant as well?
Yeah.
So like, if I just have to understand that, like, the semantics of this. If my opponent targets this, I pay 1 life and I swap the text box to like something that has hexproof or indestructible. In that instant, is this card fine?
It has all the activated and triggered abilities of the card. Okay, so if the card itself had hexproof, this wouldn't have hexproof, but if the card had like tap 1 gain hexproof, it would have that ability to gain hexproof.
So if it has the active ability, you could pay the 1 life, pay the mana to become that. That means all removal on this card is just gone. And then you pay 1 life again to swap back to something like that you want it to use. And then if they do it again, you just keep doing. Bro, isn't this card insane? Like, what? That is
pretty good.
That's so scary. That is a scary card, which fits the theme of what the character is in Avatar, and the flavor is very good. It's just holy. If you could set this up, it's like actually it just wins you the game. That's so cool.
I think that there's all that line of text. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may exile it. The fact that like you can shut down any death triggers of your opponents completely, I think is also underrated. Like Valgavoth is a 9 mana demon that gets played in some of these reanimation decks in standard, because when you bring it out, it turns off like the drain deck's ability to sacrifice all its creatures and drain you out. This does that, but also exiles something and also can copy a bunch of abilities. Like, I think it will see standard play in the decks designed to cheat big things out.
I also think, like, oh my god, this card also says when another non-token creature dies, which means your opponent's creatures as well is in this pool now.
That's right.
So you could think about like what they're playing and how you can interact with it. Like, this card actually is so it's so cool. I was just showing you in Hearthstone like maybe one of the coolest cards I've ever seen, and like this thing is probably cooler than that. You can do so much with a card like this.
Dude, if they don't ban Vivi, you can make it a Vivi that immediately makes 6 black mana.
Dude,
just think about it. Oh my god.
It's sick.
Oh man. Yeah. Beautiful card.
Did you have you played with this card yet?
I did not know about this card. I didn't open one of these. I found out about it with everybody else. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is a very cool card.
Wow.
I was very mad. Some of the mythics I didn't. Here's another one I didn't open, by the way, that cost 6 mana. But some of the mythics I didn't open, I'm still like actually reading and being like, oh god, I missed it. It's a deep set. There's so many playable things.
Hold on. I was sending this to Alex to see what he thought about it.
Nice.
Ozai the Phoenix King. 2 neutral, 2 black, 2 red. Okay, could be a commander. Trample, firebending 4, and haste. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes red instead. Oh. Ozai has flying and indestructible as long as you have 6 or more unspent mana. Okay, so unspent mana is just what your mana base that's not tapped, and firebending. I guess there's other interactions.
Unspent mana, it has to be in the mana pool. So like untapped lands won't count. You have to tap them, add mana, but then not have the mana leave your mana pool, because this says if you would lose unspent mana, it becomes red instead.
I have no idea how good this truly is. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes red. How would you lose unspent mana? You just don't cast it?
So if you don't use mana in the phase that you create it, the mana pool empties at the end of the phase.
So like particularly firebending, so you would get 4 mana for red after the phase is over. Okay. This is like an expensive ass card though. Like, I get there was another card I saw that was like the is it the comment? I forget what it was that like maybe pairs with it. Like there's another really expensive red card that I think might pair with this.
I think there's the comet. The comet gives like everything firebending 6 or 5 or something like that. We'll just go over it. I mean, that's cool. I don't think I've reviewed the comet.
I'm trying to think of what it, because you really need to. Was it this one? Each creature you control gets firebending 5 until the end of attack. Foretell, neutral, 1 red. During your turn, you may pay 2 and exile this card from your hand face down. Cast it later for its foretell cost. What the fuck? What the hell's that mechanic?
What?
Foretell?
Oh, yeah. If you can, instead of paying 5 mana, you can spend 2 mana on an early turn and then later cast it at the cheaper cost.
Yo, what? That doesn't is that like broken?
Is it? Is it?
You cast.
I mean, foretell cards got played in standard when it was a new mechanic in the Kaldheim standard era. Some of them did make the cut. Yeah.
The problem with Ozai though is it doesn't really work with Sozin's Comet well, because it's post. Like you would want to firebend first. I mean, but if you go Sozin's Comet and then you attack with Ozai, and you have other creatures, you are making money. Like you have
mana.
You are printing mana. Yeah, you're printing mana. You're printing so much mana. That's a lot of mana. Can you even handle that much mana? That is 9 mana just from Ozai.
I don't know if I can handle that much mana, to be honest. What would I even do with such a mana?
I think Sozin's Comet, especially the foretell, might go crazy, but I think Ozai might be too expensive. I'm honestly not 100% sure. I guess you wouldn't want this as your commander. You're just hoping you rip it into your graveyard so you can like reanimate it, and then all of a sudden it becomes really good. Like it's not your commander, it's just in your deck, and then maybe it's a lot better.
It does have haste, so you do kind of get in a way it's a 2 mana card. If you have a way to use the rest of the mana somehow. No.
You know, you might be right, to be honest with you. This set is so nuts. What the hell? Hold on.
Well, let's bring back Bulk Up. Let's just use Ozai to cast Bulk Up and flash it back and just double the power, then double it again, and you're swinging for 28. Easy.
Oh my!
I can handle the mana. I found it, and that's in standard.
Yeah, I guess because Bulk Up would be instant. Yeah, you could just do it before whatever minion gets to attack, you just smack them. Oh my god. Maybe Ozai is really good, but I think that's because of Reanimate. I don't think it's because you're playing it. But
I mean, the reanimation strategies right now are kind of busted. It's true. It's absolutely true.
That is such a funny card, though. I think Sozin's Comet goes crazy. Like I think that card's nuts. I didn't realize that.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna make a bunch of just like little token creatures? They all gain this, and then you attack and make like 30 mana that you have to use in combat.
If you have one creature, that creature, depending on how much mana it is plus 5 mana. And then if you have 2 creatures, you have plus 10 mana. So like even on one, it doesn't even feel that bad. You're getting plus 2 mana. I guess you're paying off the comet just for like the cost of one creature on it. So if you have multiple, it's so good. Like it just feels like you get so much dividends from it, as long as you have the mana to spend, of course.
Yep, you've got to spend the mana somehow, and it's got to be like a decent way to spend the mana. If you're getting a payoff from all that mana, either in like cards or board presence, yeah, like I could see it. Yeah, like 10 mana is a lot of mana. We don't usually cast 10 mana cards in standard, okay?
No, it's fair.
In fact, I don't think you can run a 10 mana card. I think you have to run a card that scales up based on the amount of mana you can throw at it.
You're thinking Ozai's played in standard, not...
So the big thing for me with Ozai in standard is for the Firebending 4, can we just end the game? Is there a card where if you have a trampling, attacking 7/7 and 4 mana, do we have a 2-card win the game combo potentially? And 2 bulk ups will do it, but I would like to do it with 1 card. So I kind of have to find it. I mean, by the way, with Azula, bulk up doubles, so that would do it. But that is probably asking too much.
Yeah, in standard, probably.
I mean, do we have 4 mana triple target creature's power? That'd do it.
How does Co work with all of this? Can you get... No, you can... Wait, hold on. Firebending would proc on Ozai. And then with Azula, you could swap to her triggered ability. And then proc it. That seems too greedy.
And then you have 6 mana. So then this is flying and indestructible. And then anything you cast is doubled.
Yeah, you swap back to Ozai. Oh, dude, that card is so cool. What the...
Pew, 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 pew. Those are triggered abilities. Yeah, firebending is triggered. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy, dude.
That's awesome.
That's crazy. This is cool. Wild.
I hope this is good.
There are big Timmy dreams in the set, which I haven't even been a consideration in standard for a while, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's
You should feel, and like if VV does get banned, you're in the college and you're like super stoked.
dude. Ko almost has me wanting VV to stay legal. That's how good that card is. To be the most sick thing I could possibly do.
He's lying. Don't believe him.